While actually watching matches, games and fights is pretty entertaining, the athletes participating in these events themselves are pretty funny. Almost as interesting as the game sometimes. There are hundreds of examples of painful, funny, troubling and confusing stories from athletes. These interviews and conferences are occasionally more exciting than the games. Fans get to see their favourite players and their most hated players running their mouths occasionally regarding topics which they have no experience with. Today we're going to show you some of the best celebrity interviews in sports events. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications for all the amazing content on the way just for you. The 7-foot-tall German starts off this list for his interview where he squashed a fly and then flicked it off the table. Most people ignore flies, and most people in the middle of an interview would have had to keep their minds on the question, but the 12-time All-Star was having none of it.
Which put us in transition, and that was big and got us back in the game in the second quarter.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I hit him.
Any other questions for Dirk? Last question right here.
This is actually two interviews that played out in a great back and forth between two NHL stars of the 90s. It was when Roenick was tripped on a breakaway but did not receive a penalty shot.
Should have been a penalty shot, there's no doubt about it. I like Patrick's quote that he would have stopped me. I just want to know where he was in game 3. Probably getting his jock out of it.
I can't really hear what Jeremy says because I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings plugged in my ear.
Back in 2008, Tracy McGarty was interviewed by a group of reporters after a rough stretch of games. He claimed that essentially every single problem with the Rockets' recent performance, including a few other things, was his fault.
It's my fault. It's my fault we're missing free throws. It's my fault that we, not executing well in the offensive end. It's my fault that a couple people in the stands ordered Heineken's, but they got Budweisers. It's my fault that they get easy layups. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
After a Cowboys loss back during the 2007 season, T.O. broke down while crying to some reporters, which speculated that Tony Romo may have been at fault. Owens whimpered and then exclaimed that they lost as a team.
Tony, you guys can point the finger at him. You can talk about the vacation. And if you do that, it's really unfair. It's really unfair. It's my team. It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair. We lost as a team. We lost as a team, man.
What do you expect when you send a reporter to chat with a hockey player on a bench while all of his teammates are around? Throughout this interview, you can see 2 of Richard's teammates spraying water and gently brushing his face with a stick.
Costing both teams right now.
Yeah, obviously we want to stay out of the penalty box, and I think we got to be a little bit bear down a little bit more in our zone. We're not getting pucks out, and they're capitalizing on it.
Mike, thank you.
If this interview was legit in any way, it was terrible, but it was meant to entertain kids or hype people. Well, if that's the case though, it's pretty spot on. Eli seemed halfway terrified and confused, but he still kept his cool through the ordeal.
Yeah, Lindsay, is it fair to say in the first 2 minutes you immediately regretted being on this show?
Most people haven't heard of Ray Carnisto of the Kalamazoo Wings of the ECHL. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are plenty of fans who don't even know what that is, but Ray played a cat game during an interview and managed to get 7 meows into an interview in under a minute.
Looks like you guys did that here today.
Yeah, right now we came out, hit a few guys quickly there. We got to get in the corners now and maybe, pass the puck a couple more times down the neutral zone there, Mel. Right now our focus is on banking as many points, Mel, but right now we're doing a pretty good job, coming out and getting the first goal.
Possibly the most storied boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali was interviewed about why he did not fight in the Vietnam War. It was a polarizing topic back then, as it is today.
People want to see me and Joe Frazier. They still think Joe Frazier can beat me. They don't want to see me and Ken Norton. They don't want to see me and George Foreman. They want to see me and Joe Frazier, and I will beat George Foreman every day in the week. Right. But the fools still still think that chump Joe Frazier can beat me. And I got his conscience right here to keep me on guard. See, here's the way he looks when you hit him. All night, that's all it can be. All night in Malaysia.
Beast Mode, the Seattle Seahawks running back, is an interesting case when it comes to his media presence. Back in 2007, he was always rocking the beast mode in interviews, but in 2013 and 14, he's now known as a man of few words.
Yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second, John.
Yeah, sure. All right, how about the effort of the offensive line to keep pushing against the defensive attack so aggressively?
Yeah.
You were on the sidelines for a little bit there. What was going on? Was the back all right? Obviously, you got back in there.
Yeah.
How does that defense compare to others that you've seen this year?
Yeah.
You know this team is so good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
This was a great confrontation in which Pete Rose, who was one of baseball's most controversial figures, was directly asked if he would finally admit to having gambled on games.
Are you willing to show contrition, admit that you bet on baseball, and make some sort of an apology to that effect?
Not at all, Jim, not at all. I'm not going to admit to something that didn't happen. I know you get tired of hearing me say that, but I'm just a small part of a big deal tonight.
With the overwhelming evidence that is in that report, why not make that step with this opening?
It's too much of a festive night to worry about that. I mean, because I don't know what evidence you're talking about. I mean, show it to me.
I mean, that report did, but we don't want to debate that, Pete.
Well, why not? Why do we want to believe everything he says?
Steroids and other PEDs in baseball are sometimes bigger news than the game itself. Another brilliant use of taxpayers' dollars, Congress decided to have a hearing on the topic. This player appeared in multiple shows and was interviewed about his experience with steroids during his career.
Then in 2003, you tested positive for testosterone and an anabolic steroid known as primobolan. What's the truth?
I did take a banned substance, and for that, I'm very sorry and deeply regretful. And although it was a culture back then, and Major League Baseball overall,
I call it quick and painless, but Dennis Green looked like smoke was going to start blasting out of his ears. Coach Green was reacting to a question about the team's loss to Chicago Bears when they had blown a 20-point lead.
The Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
You could also honestly call this one of the funniest and most heated sports interviews of all time. Floyd Mayweather for sure was not having it easy in this one.
Why am I not found the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you're retired? You got full credit for both of those wins, Floyd. That's why you became a superstar.
No, I did not.
Yes,
no,
you
I
did.
Did not. No,
sure
I did
you
not.
did. From me,
I gave
you full credit. If you're talking to me now, I gave you full credit for that.
Am I going to speak my piece or not? Am I going to speak my piece or not?
Go ahead.
Okay, because you want to interview me. I ain't interviewing you. You want to talk to me. I don't worry about talking.
Floyd,
you want to talk
go ahead.
To me.
I'm waiting on you.
To wrap up, we've got a video of Bobby Bonilla almost beating up a reporter who wouldn't leave him alone. And you're going to laugh after this one.
I told you to leave me alone, didn't I? Was that nice to you? Doing my job. Shove that mic up your as far as you can stick it. Make you move, bud. Because I'll hurt you. Whatever, you take it as you see. It's just, like the homeboy said back home, we just chilling. Make you move.
There you go, guys. These celebrities in sports sometimes can be very funny to interview, and at times, they can also be the worst people to ever have an interview with. Keep the comments buzzing and let us know which of these moments was the weirdest, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to keep up to date on all the things going on in the celebrity world. We've got loads of exciting content that you're not going to want to miss out on.